Today I'm going to make a video on how to write a good recommendation letter or a good motivation letter for applying for masters abroad. I'll be speaking in English in this video because whoever wants to come to study abroad, they should definitely know English. So that's fine. It could be useful for other people as well. So first thing first, you have to first research your master's program and what exactly do you want to study. I see a lot of queries in the group that people have low CGPAs and they have a concern whether they will get in or not. I think it's very important to play to your strengths. You should choose a master program which is based on what you studied in your bachelor's. For example, if you are doing chemical engineering, so you could choose something which is based on renewable energy, on process optimization, on polymers, on materials. These are all within and petroleum as well. So these are all within the bounds of chemical engineering. I know for my field, so I can speak for that. For other fields, you can research, you can look up videos on YouTube, search on Google, and choose an appropriate program. So that's the first thing. Now, for the start of the letter, it's very important to start. The introduction should be concise, it should not be long, but it should gain the attraction of the reader. And you can start off with something personal, like a personal story, which motivated you to choose your program in bachelor's. Like, why did you choose to study economics or chemical engineering or mechanical engineering in bachelor's? It doesn't have to be long because that's how a master's motivation letter is different from a bachelor's one. I'll also like to add, like, if people want to check for reference, I'm a student. Sorry, I should have said that earlier, but now I'll said it. I'm a student who is currently studying in University of Strasbourg, and my program is between University of Strasbourg in France and University of Freiburg in Germany. It's a binational program. It's masters in materials and polymer science. It was in chemical and process engineering STEM program. I also got into that, and I also wrote motivation letters for my friends who got admission into TUM, Technical University of Munich, and in a couple of other universities across Europe. So you can be sure that the advice that I'm going to give out to you, I'm not saying it's 100% true, but I've been through the process, so I can give you good advice on how to structure your motivation letter. So coming back to the first paragraph, start off with something personal to gain the attention of the reader. You can start off with, like, one of my friends who I wrote for TUM. He was from a small town in Pakistan, so and he wanted to study power engineering. So we began of writing with something like this: how in his town there was the problem of load shedding and electricity and power cut down. So he decided to build a small level turbine, and obviously the turbine didn't work when he decided to build it in high school. But it makes an interesting backdrop. Oh, that guy was interested in science from beginning. He's from a small village, small town. So I would advise you that not to go to consultants or to other people to write your motivation letter. You have to do it yourself because it will sound more personal. Yes, you can take help from close friends who know you well, because in a way they can judge your personality and base something on that. But going to consultant or random people, I don't think that's a good idea. So the first paragraph, concise, whatever you studied in bachelor's, what motivated you to study this, that's it, finished. Second part of the paragraph, why you chose this program. And it seems a very simple question, why, but you have to structure it very precisely. You have to explain what your future goals are. Like, if I studied chemical engineering and now I'm studying polymers, so why am I studying polymers? What do I want to do after I finish this master's program? Do I want to work in an industry? Do I want to do further research? And you have to link it to the potential opportunities back in your country. You do not have to mention that I'll go and work in US or I'll go and work in Germany. You always have to link it back how within your hometown or your home country there are opportunities which you can avail if you study this master's program. And you can also add such points like, if you want to study this particular program, then probably in Pakistan they don't have certain labs, certain technology, and only that's available in probably America or Canada or Australia or in France or Germany or anywhere in Europe. So you can mention these points in the letter. For that, I think for this part of the motivation letter, it's very important to do your research. You have to go to the website of that program, see what that program is about, the contents of the program, see what subjects are in that program, and then you can even go and see the labs, what labs you will be working in, what instruments you will be working in, and you can pick even the small details and link it to your letter. Like, for example, you can say, if I'll be working excessively on AutoCAD on a certain course, which is a core course of the program, and during my bachelor's, I worked a lot on the AutoCAD, so I'm very skilled in that certain software. This will really highlight you as a very good potential candidate, because they're looking for these things, for this certain master program. Or these are the keywords that the individual committees are looking in, that okay, they should be skilled in this and that. So if you highlight that, this will really strengthen your application. So so that part is very important, going and doing your research on that program, highlighting and linking it to your previous experience and what you've studied further. I would advise you not to make things up. Yes, you can deviate a bit from the truth, but don't make far-fetched comments which are not true, because these are experienced people. They have been reading letters for 20-30 years. They can understand, and they can know if a person is lying, how far it's true. So I will advise you not to go with that. And especially once you come here and you interact with those certain professors and those people, I don't think so it will be a pleasant experience if you would have lied in your motivation letter or any of your letters. So keep that in mind. So that would be the second structure of your paragraph. And also you will have to add that why the certain country. I mean, in this program, for example, if your program is in Germany, so you can say like Germany is an industrially powerful country. There are plenty of industries, so the exposure that you'll get in Germany, probably you will not get it in, say, Latvia or say Spain. So you can justify your program. If someone wants to study languages or political science or development, they can say that, for example, if I'm living in Strasbourg, is the capital of Europe. So there's the European Parliament, so many people coming in, different nationalities. So they can say, I'll get the exposure needed, which is essential for my field. Hence, I want to apply for this certain program. So these are the things which you need to keep in mind while writing the why section. Then comes the next part, which shows why you would be a good fit for this program. Here you have to boast more on your capabilities. You have to, if you had a good CGPA, highlight that I had a good CGPA, I was a good student, I had scholarships, I had work experience. If you had any internships, mention those internships. If the internships are linked to what you're going to study, that's the best. If they're not, still mention them. It's good for them to know that this guy has some work experience, has some corporate experience. Mention your proficiency in languages. If you know any other language than English, if you know German, if you know French, if you're going to study in France, if you know a bit of French, mention that. They absolutely love that. So mention which languages you know. And coming about boasting yourself, you have to now, all of this which you have to write, it has to be more professional, concise, and short. It's not what you write in your bachelor's. It has to be very to the point. And because the letter that you're writing would be read by professors who are PhDs, who are doing research, so they want to know those certain key points. They want to know this person wants to come here for master's and PhD, and what exactly he wants to do here. So you have to outline your program basically of what you have in your mind when you want to come in this country. So what do you want to exactly study and how do you want to study it? So they want to know, okay, this guy is not just randomly applying out of nowhere just to come into Germany. He knows what he's going to study. He's going to come here, study, gain the exposure, and go back to Pakistan. So this is very important. Mention your internships. And secondly, for example, even this is a point for people who are always worried about having a low CGPA. I also had a low CGPA. I not a very low, but it was not a very high GPA. I graduated with a 2.75. So you should highlight your strengths. For example, I had good grades in the courses which were required for this program. This program was more based on physics, chemistry, and polymers. And during my O levels, my A levels, and my bachelor's, I always had good grades in physics, in chemistry, and a couple of subjects related to polymers. So this is what they were, I think, looking for in my application. Oh, maybe he doesn't have good, maybe you don't have good grades in history or Pakistan studies or Islamiyat, or even you can say like transport phenomena or fluid mechanics. But if your program is not based on fluid mechanics, then maybe they don't care if you're not good at fluid mechanics. If your program is more based on coding and automation, probably they're more concerned in what grades you got in your courses which are based on programming languages. So do also highlight that in your application, that these subjects I excelled in, even though I had a lower CGPA, but I'm very good at these subjects. So for the master's program, it wouldn't be a problem for me because, yeah, I was not good in the others, but I was good at this and I'm going to study this further. So I'll be a good candidate for your program. So mention these things, and also mention how probably you can adjust easily into the multicultural environment. Not write a lot about that, just a couple of lines would suffice. That I'm fluent with English, I get along with people. Don't mention anything related to which is extremist, sweeping comments. That's not useful. Just show that you're a good, likable person. You get along with people, and it's and I would really advise everyone who's applying abroad to start learning another languages. When I came here, I was surprised that everyone here, I mean, all of my friends that I know, they're bilingual. I can say I'm bilingual. I speak English and Urdu, but Urdu is not really spoken anywhere in Europe. So everyone, even students come from Mexico, Colombia, from China, from Taiwan, they all spoke one language other than English. Someone spoke Spanish, someone spoke German, someone spoke French. So they were all bilingual, and we usually are not, because other languages are not taught generally in our university, especially for engineering or science-based program. So if you have time, start learning a language. It really strengthens your application a lot, because then they know, oh, this person is really serious about studying here. Even though his program might be in English, he's just learning German. So he can adjust well with the locals and with the day-to-day life in Germany. He's learning French, so he can adjust well with the day-to-day life in France. So they see, he's not taking it for a joke. He's serious about his career, about his aspiration, about studying in this program, and that's why he has taken up the hard prospect of learning a new language even back in his country. So he has a head start with the process. So do mention these points. Structure your letter well. It should do not use any slangs, any wayward comments. Be precise, but be uh, but express yourself well, so they know who you truly are. And keep these things in mind. Usually the word limit is around 500 to 600 words. That's about one A4 size page. So try to keep it that. And I know the first draft will not make it. You have to rewrite your paper. I also rewrote it 6 or 7 times. So just make the first draft, go through it, tell your teachers to read it, tell your friends to read it. They will highlight some improvements, compare it with some drafts online, then make a second draft, write a third draft, fourth draft. Probably after the fourth and fifth draft, you'll have something which you will be satisfied with and which will be good enough. So good luck to all of you. And I'm putting some links in the description of the video as well, of some programs which I know about, which you can apply, some scholarships which I know about, which you can apply. If you have any other queries, I am making further videos as part of my YouTube channel about my life in France and Germany. Those will be about, the little small things, how to, like, for example, open a bank account, how to do for the local transportation here, how to eat, how to get the food, how to get along with people, all the small details of life. So you can even subscribe to my channel. The just press on the bottom, and hopefully you'll get really interesting details. I will also be speaking mostly in other videos in Urdu, but there will be subtitles with the videos as well, hopefully in the future. So I don't think it will be a problem for you to comprehend. And good luck, guys, for your master's application. Do apply. I would recommend all of you to apply to Europe, to other countries, because the exposure that you get is immense. It's a complete blend of culture. There are people from Spain, Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, Taiwan, China, Japan, Korea, Australia, America, Mexico, and French Guinea, Russia. Everyone's coming here to study. So it's a very rich blend. You meet a lot of people, your mind open up, your perception changes, and especially they have really good teachers over here. They have good labs, they have good equipment, they have good industry. The way of life is different. So I would recommend all of you to come for your higher studies in Europe. It's a very good experience. There are no borders, so it's also an advantage that you can travel within countries, explore the different cultures. So go ahead, and if you have any other further queries, you can post the comments on the video, and I will try to reply you back in these comments. And keep following for more updates. Thank you.